Welcome to a very special online edition of Storage Field Day here using Google Hangout. We are joined today by Visuality Systems, a company that is producing a very interesting piece of storage technology. We decided it would be best to host this online using Google Hangout rather than waiting for the Storage Field Day event coming to you in first quarter of next year, or trying to fit this into a different one, because this is a really, really technical topic. I think that the folks that are online here with us, some of our best known storage field day delegates, will really get a kick out of what this technology is doing, and we'll have a lot of questions and comments throughout the way. So for now, let me turn it over to our friends from Visuality to introduce yourselves, and then we can get started with the presentation.
Yes, thank you, Stephen. I'm Tal Wiedemann from Visuality Systems. I'm from the marketing, and next to me, Mark Rabinovich, our R&D manager. And we're happy to be here today. Thank you very much for all of you for coming and participate. We are very excited to be here and present you our new product. And if there is no other further questions, so we can start with the presentation. A bit about us, about Visuality Systems. So we were founded in 1998, and the company is fully dedicated to the SMB protocol. Our initial product, which we still develop and sell today, is targeted to the embedded devices. In the past 16 years, we reached close to 100% market share for non-GPL market in the embedded world. We have more than 100 customers. Most of them are Fortune 500 companies. Our product was implemented in millions of devices like printers, robots, medical, mobile, and more. And basically the solution is portable to any operating system and can be integrated into any device. Now, let me just give you one of our use cases that I'm pretty much sure you know. Every office, almost every home have a printer with the option to scan the files directly to the printer. Now, when you scan a file, directly to the computer. When you scan a file to the computer, you're actually, if you're not sending it to Dropbox or to Gmail, if you're sending it directly to a folder or to the PC, you're using an SMB protocol, which is a Microsoft protocol. Every Windows computer since Windows 95 use SMB, this protocol, and also Macintosh computers also use it. Now, other operating system, such as Linux, that is used in most of the printers, do not have the SMB protocol. We have the implementation for printers, for example, and when you share a file from the printer to the PC, you're actually using, most likely, you're using our protocol. We're working with almost all the printer manufacturers in the market, and this is our embedded product. It's been used in consumer devices, in medical, in mobile, aerospace and defense, you name it. Any device can be integrated with our protocol, our software. So close to about 2 years ago, we expanded our development to the enterprise storage market after, let's say, we got a small push from Microsoft. So now we have two products, both of them from the NQ family. The first one that I told you before, just now, called NQE, and E stand for embedded, and the second one is NQ storage. And today we are here to talk about the NQ storage solution, which we plan to release in Q1 2016. By the way, we just released a beta version a couple of weeks ago and deliver it on time to our present customers. So let me continue to the slide. So as I said in the previous slide, Microsoft encouraged us to develop an SMB solution for the storage market. The main reason for that is that there is simply no other third party that offered a non-GPL solution. You might be surprised, but Microsoft realized that there are operating systems in the market other than Windows, and For them to keep their SMB protocol the de facto connectivity, they need to make sure that companies using a non-Windows will have a way to implement the SMB protocol. That's why they encourage us to do it. Today, there are no other companies that are doing it. And in a few days, we will publish a joint PR together with Microsoft. And of course, I can share it with you, with all of you, once we advertise the PR, the press release. So if you can see in the presentation, in the first bullet, there were two companies before us that developed an SMB solution. One of them was Likewise, which was acquired by EMC Isilon in 2012, and the second one was HVNAS that was also taken out of the market in 2014 by NetApp. These acquisitions caused a vacuum in the market, leaving no other solution available except from the open source Samba solution. Or the other option for them was to try to develop a proprietary solution, which is very costly. Just for a comparison, for us with 16 years in the SMB market and the experience we have, before we started the development, it takes us more than 2 years to develop this product. For less experienced developer, you can imagine the amount of resources required for that. So we started with, it all started about 2 years ago, and we started with 3 months feasibility test, which proved successful, and decided to proceed. Now, during the development, customers approach us without any advertising from our side. Customers approach us, and these companies became our core in the development. All right, so Mark, you'll take it from here.
When we were developing our storage solution, which we call NQ Storage, a big challenge was to make it equally suitable for any of a server sizes, both for clusters, for big NAS arrays, and for smaller servers which are suitable for such markets as small office. This caused us to think more and more about flexibility and a good API. This is more or less the architecture that we have developed. The main engine, which is in the middle, remains the same in any project and in any environment. File system can have integration on one of two levels, either of VFS level, which allows everything, or of file system level, which has some restricted capabilities from one side, but from another side it has ready-to-use VFS solutions that we call POSIX VFS. For instance, POSIX VFS solution is suitable for a standalone server. It is not that suitable for a clustering system, for which we expect our customers to develop a pluggable VFS. The same about transport. We provide an interface between SMB engine and transports. We also provide two ready-to-use transports. One is socket-based. Socket-based does not necessarily mean sockets. It's socket-like. It works with anything that can be considered a virtual socket. Another one is SMB Direct, which works over RDMA. In addition, our customer can develop, and they are doing it already, they can develop a pluggable custom transport. Our market requires to support all possible dialects of the SMB protocol. Currently, we support all sub-dialects of SMB2 and most sub-dialects of SMB3, while SMB 3.1.1, which was introduced with Windows 10, will be available in the next version. Tal will explain later about our roadmap. SMB protocol, which is still in the field, we do not supply right now. It is banned, but we will supply it also in the next version. We have to supply all possible means of security that SMB protocol allows. Message signing was possible in the earliest version. SMB encryption was first introduced in SMB 3 protocol. Domain authentication is absolutely necessary when we are talking about data centers. Kerberos authentication will be available in the next version. Meanwhile, it is NTLM SSP. This list contains all those features that we consider necessary for storage solution. Not all of them are implemented in POSIX VFS, but all of them are available through our VFS API. In POSIX VFS, for example, we implement only basic ioctls. SMB Direct over DMA is available right now as an advanced prototype. It is not included in the current version, but it will be included into version 1.1. We tested it with Mellanox RDMA cards. Such things as scale-out shares are only available through VFS API, but not available through POSIX VFS. Replaceable backend is actually what we call VFS. VFS can be developed by our customers and plugged into our system. To provide the best performance, we were trying to achieve as much multiplexing as possible. For this purpose, we use thread pool in several components of our system. As I said, transports are also pluggable. You have two ready to use, and you can develop more.
My question was about your relationship with Microsoft, because to implement all these features, especially SMB Direct, Scale Out, Shares, and so we are getting a lot of complexity. So do you have some support from them on the development side, for quality assurance, all the kind of stuff?
Yes, indeed. But the answer will be a little bit more complicated. To implement SMB protocol is not simple, and we have very good relations with Microsoft. We talk with them, they talk with us, they answer our questions, but mostly our achievements in the field of SMB are based on our experience from 15 years of development of this protocol. In simple words, we're just experts. We know this protocol maybe better than others. Concerning the quality, we work with Microsoft division in Shanghai to test our solution with their something that they call Microsoft Protocol Test Suite. This is a very nice thing which was developed in Microsoft using their spec. We're going through the spec, paragraph by paragraph, line by line, and we're implementing all the possible conditions. And our aim is to pass all those tests, which we are almost done. Concerning such things as scale-out shares and replaceable backend, I would like to explain that we do not develop storage. We develop SMB engine. So such things as scale-out shares, replaceable backend, persistent handles that I will show you on the next slide, all those things are developed both by us and our customers. What we do, we provide SMB syntax and some semantics that is necessary to delegate those things from the network to the storage. The implementation of, let's say, persistent handles is not in our component, is outside. And that's the reason why we work very hard with our customers in integrating our SMB into their solution. Our solution is not a tool, it is a library.
One of the nice things that Microsoft has been doing lately is they have indeed been working much more closely with third parties for supporting SMB as well as other components of the storage stack. And those of you who know the stories from the CIFS days and the constantly changing protocol and the unfriendliness and the difficulty in figuring out how to make compatible products. A lot of that stuff has changed as far as I know, and I'm wondering, I think you guys at Visuality, you just mentioned that Microsoft is working a little closer with you now. That's really happening, right? You can confirm that?
Yes, I can confirm that. This product, the one that they encourage us to go forward with it, that brings us even closer to them. And as I mentioned, we will have a press release that we already wrote. We're just advertising the press release in a few days from now, and we'll be happy to show it to you and to send you the link for that. That press release talks about how we come closer and extended our relationship towards the storage market.
Also, I would like to mention that working with Microsoft protocols currently is much more easier, much more fun than it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, our main instrument was Wireshark protocol analyzer, and we were mostly using reverse engineering. From that time, the Microsoft policy concerning their protocols has dramatically changed. I think you know that. And currently, they are open towards third parties, and their protocols, their specifications are not only widely available, but very strict. They even asked open source guys from Open Software Foundation to help them in defining those specifications. One name I can mention, it was Christopher Hertel. I think you are familiar with this name.
Just a little.
Well, it's I think he's number one SMB guru.
The problem that I see that is you guys own the front end, and you're giving the file, and your customer owns the file system back end. And I've had lots of problems with POSIX ACLs and NTFS ACLs not mapping correctly, and people who are used to working in the Windows world setting up security that doesn't work the way they want it to. How do you guys address that? Or is that something that your customer has to deal with in the file system?
Are you asking specifically about ACLs?
Yep.
Our API assumes ACL as a blob. It's just a block of bytes for our customer. So our customer should not even think about ACL. We are the site that operates with ACL. We provide them with functions like which access is allowed, and we also provide them with transferring ACL to and fro. Their responsibility is to persistently keep those ACLs. And to say the truth, I don't know how do they do it, but they do.
We have another question from Alex.
Hi. So you mentioned that your AD authentication, the AD authentication is supported. Can you confirm, is that for single domain environments, or can you support, say, multiple domains? So you could, for example, provide a multi-tenant solution on a per share or for a collection of shares kind of basis?
Yes, this is possible.
Cool.
I think Alex is looking for something a little more complicated because he wants those domains that don't trust each other to have access on the per share basis.
Absolutely.
I need to better understand your question, because what we can do, we can support users from different domains.
Right. And can you set up in such a fashion that users of those different domains can't obviously access content from other domains or content linked to permissions from other domains?
I feel myself not strong enough in this matter. I think this is not a matter of SMB. It's a matter of AD configuration.
Mm-hmm.
At least this is our current approach.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a question from Chris Evans.
My question really is to ask, when you're working, or if you're working with storage vendors who have existing platforms, how you're working with them to integrate your software into their hardware solutions.
We have two levels of integration, as I said. First level is VFS level, another one is system abstraction layer. System abstraction layer assumes that operating system shouldn't be, by the way, it shouldn't be necessarily Linux, it can be any. We even have one potential customer that considers VxWorks, which is, in my opinion, it's an excellent platform for storage, but a little bit expensive. Okay. So the low level of integration assumes that operating system is something Linux-like, but not necessarily Linux. It provides basic things like file access, networking, some basic system services. Our method of integration, we have, by the way, we have very good experience with this from our embedded product. We can integrate to virtually any environment, and by the way, and our customer environment, even all of them currently are all but one are using Linux. Actually, this environment is virtually another operating system. All of them have a layer above Linux, which is our target for integration, not Linux itself. So for us, it's just another operating system.
I was just asking whether those customers are integrating directly into their product, or whether they're effectively using a separate layer, maybe a virtualized layer that would allow them to implement your software.
As far as I understand your question, you're asking about different layers, different levels of integration. Is it correct?
Yes, I was.
We have two, as I said, we have two layers of integration. That's because one layer is for virtual file system, which can be anything and can do anything, including clustering. Another layer is for one node, single node. So if we provide a solution for standalone server, we will provide only the second layer of integration. If we provide a solution for a storage system, which is with a cluster, we need to provide both layers of integration. The difference is between a file system and operating system.
And we have another question from Jarrett Colm.
All right. When I'm working with new systems and customer environments that are using SMB, especially ones that are using SMB3, constantly running into issues with older clients and systems. Printers, things like AS400 with JSIFs or HSSF, things that don't talk Unicode, trying to connect with newer shares, which might be restricting it to only Unicode. How are you handling that with backwards compatibility of a share, which is being accessed by multiple versions of clients?
I'm not sure I correctly understand your question. We just support all dialects of SMB. Dialect is not only syntax, but also semantics. We also test with all possible clients.
Okay, so non-Unicode SMB1 against a Unicode-friendly SMB2 or 3, both are going to work?
Is your question about Unicode and non-Unicode strings?
Yes.
As I said, SMB1 is not ready yet. it's banned currently. But yes, we do support both Unicode and ASCII strings.
Okay.
Also, we do support code pages.
Okay.
Which makes possible to use, for instance, UTF-8 or Shift-JIS from Japan.
Okay. Are you also testing against JSIFs or HSSF?
Say it again, please.
Are you testing clients such as JSIFs or HSSF?
No, we do not test with JSIFs. We're from the open source community. We are using only Samba.
Okay. All right, because definitely a lot of issues with AS400 clients who do rely on JSIFs or HSSF. All right, thank you.
Maybe we need to consider this. As I heard, maybe I'm not correct, but I heard that JSIF's version, JSIF support very old version of SMB protocol. Is it correct?
Yes, but it's very common on enterprise file transport systems.
I understand. I think we need to consider this possibility.
All right, we have another question from Matthew Lieb.
Hi.
Yes.
One of the things that I'm constantly facing when I architect systems is the IOPS issue. And I'm thinking that there may be some, by putting an interpreter or an engine in between the client and the storage, that there may be some effect on I/O. Is that handled? Is there some impact or effect whatsoever?
I'm not sure I understand your question correctly. Can you please?
Sure.
Yeah.
Disk I/O is critical in a lot of well, pretty much everything. Flat SMB CIFS. Excuse me for using the word CIFS. Is
It's okay. We are used to it.
Actually, we own www.cifs.com, but since it's not relevant anymore, it's really bad for us. We had really good search engine optimization back then.
Yes, please.
But the IOPS on the storage end, on the back end storage, are mission critical to most of my customers.
Do you mean performance?
Yeah, the disk read-write access.
Well, we have a strong requirement of 10,000 IOPS per core, and I think we are standing to this requirement right now. What we do, we are using SQL I/O to measure our performance, and we are very close to the required number. Is it what you mean?
Well, actually, that's a good part of it. What I was thinking more along the lines of, does an interpreter and an engine sitting in between the source and the target affect any of the architected back-end storage?
What do you mean by affecting?
Well, does it slow it down?
Slowing down. Do you mean that probably our SMB engine is eating out CPU
Right.
time?
Exactly.
Honestly, we did not do those measurements. From our NQE product, from the embedded product, we know that the numbers are very low. It's something about from few percent to 10% at the most. But
So,
we did not measure for our storage product yet.
okay, fair enough. All that means is if I recommend this to my customer, I have to accommodate for an additional 10% of overhead, roughly, on the storage side.
Yes, there's no free lunch.
Correct.
All right, we have another question from Enrico Signoretti.
Yeah, just a quick one. So I'd like to understand if the product is provided via library or on source code.
It is source code.
Okay. Is it C?
Pardon me?
Is it in developed in C?
Yes. We should provide everything that is needed for clustering. Some of the features will be provided in the next version, not in the current one. That's because our customers consider them as nice to have, but currently not must. It's not nice to say that any application must work over SMB. Actually, the market is interested mostly in particular application. That's why we are testing our solution with all those. Hyper-V, I think, in my opinion, Hyper-V is utilizing SMB to its fullest. It uses everything until the least paragraph of the specification. SQL Server is a little bit more user-friendly, or SMB-friendly, let's say, but it still loads SMB very good. Those two are our major test cases.
Mark mentioned that this release is NQ Storage version 1.00, and we have another one coming up, NQ Storage 1.01. So just as a small brief about the entire spectrum. So the development, we started it back in 2014, and we ran a feasibility test. And then we went along, and after it was successful, we saw it's going in the right direction. We recruit more developers. We expanded our QA team in order to make sure that we proceed with this product while we still have to support our embedded customers. As I mentioned before, we have over 100 customers that we still need to support them and provide them their updates. So the first major milestone in NQ Storage 1.1 was back in September earlier this year, when we presented the product together with one of our customers at the SDC event organized by SNIA, which I'm sure you all know. We have received a very good feedback from Microsoft and other visitors. Plus, we reached new customers, as this was the first time we actually advertised it. We took it out to the market. The beta release was on time, and 9 customers from the US and from Japan and from Israel received the package, and they're testing the beta version these days. The official release of NQ Storage 1.00 will be in Q1 2016, and after that we'll go to the next version. The release, as you can see in the presentation, the release of version 1.01 is planned for Q4 2016, with a beta version in September 2016. And that's it. As I promised, it's a very short and to the point presentation.
Are you working with any of the WAN acceleration companies, such as Riverbed or Silver Peak, to ensure that your implementation is compatible with how they're currently optimizing SMB or SMB3?
Did you mention Riverbed?
Riverbed, Silver Peak, any of those companies, are you working with them to ensure compatibility?
Very interesting question, because we used to provide our own WAN acceleration product. We don't do it anymore because we don't have resources for all those development. But WAN acceleration is out of our scope. WAN acceleration is a middleman. We provide terminal solution, not a proxy.
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem is multiple companies' recent SMB implementations basically stop being functional for different WAN acceleration products, either because there were minutiae which weren't spec compliant, or there was just something wrong. So for a long time, NetApp wasn't supported by Riverbed with SMB3, but was with SMB2. Microsoft had their issues with WAN optimization from different companies with SMB3. So, are you going to try to work with any of the WAN accelerator companies to make?
I don't think so. The issue is that 3.1.1, which is available Windows 10, virtually prevents WAN acceleration to work. It has something that is called pre-logon integrity. Actually, Microsoft were doing several steps to avoid middlemen. They call it middleman. We can call it proxy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for instance, message signing introduces a very big challenge for such companies as Riverbed, and for any company that is doing WAN acceleration. But it's only a small problem. The big problem is 3.1.1, which, at least according to Microsoft announcements, makes proxying virtually impossible.
Okay. I have a lot of unhappy customers who will not want to do that. So.
Yes, but Microsoft are seeing any proxying as an absolute evil. They even do not use the word proxy. They call it middleman.
Okay.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It's great to be able to talk to Visuality about the SMB storage stack that they've created, NQ Storage. Those of you who are watching online, you will find this presentation and many others on our techfieldday.com website. We'll also be posting this to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/techfieldday. And we'll share it in our social media channels. You can find us on Twitter @TechFieldDay. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/GestaltIT, and pretty much everywhere else. Just Google for Tech Field Day. And if you'd like to learn more about the product that we've been talking about today, your website, I believe, is visualitynq.com. Is that right?
Correct.
All right, very good. And I'm sure that they would love to hear from you if you have any questions or comments, or especially if you're interested in integrating the SMB3 protocol with your storage array, since this is a solution targeted just to that use case. So for me, Stephen Foskett, Tom Hollingsworth from Tech Field Day, and for our delegates, thank you very much for joining us, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you in the future at Tech Field Day, Storage Field Day, and perhaps another one of these virtual Tech Field Day hangouts. Thank you very much.